Hello everybody, Fox here, gonna bring you another 1v1. I have a pretty good replay here, very popular on the Game Replays forums, but I'm not actually gonna post it in the shoutcast section because another caster did have it reserved already. But this is for the sake of my own channel, and hopefully most of you guys haven't seen this yet. This game is gonna be against freestyle, playing as a Vermok, and up here in the right position, it's gonna be played with Siberian. I believe that is Siberianplatoon. EKTWR, that should be a Smurf account. Let me check here. So it does say freestyler, and yes, that is going to be Siberianplatoon here, playing as the Americans. And I'm going to get this game started from the 5-second mark, starting in 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let me move my mic a little bit. I can hear it kind of catching my breath. And I think, whoa, yes, I am casting, right? Yes. Forgot to turn off Steam, but it's all good. So Siberianplatoon is actually a very, very high level player there. He's won quite a bit of tournaments. He's been to Sunday night fights. If you watch those, every Sunday they have two top tier players going head to head. I actually haven't seen it in a while, and he is really, really good, as well as freestyle. He as well has the expert badge on Game Replays, so they are both very, very high up there. This is a very popular game, so it should be a really, really good game. So we're going to see what these two players are doing so far. So far, pretty standard. You know, 2 pioneers coming from our Vermok player and 3 engineers coming from the US player. Hasn't actually put a barracks down just yet, and both players just going to cap throughout the map. Not too much going on, and yeah, that's about it right now. Looks like we do have our first Volksgrenadier squad out for a freestyler, and our barracks just now going up for our American player Siberianplatoon. Looks like he is going to cap slowly into the middle. I'm going to do a little bit here about this map. Remember, this point here, if the Vermok player can capture this point, that will cut off our American player from pretty much the right side. Let me see here, I gotta think again. From this side of the map over here, and possibly this one if he doesn't have these 2 points connected. But usually that is pretty dangerous, because once he captures that, he can place some mines here, as well as set up an MG, and you're pretty much trapped in your base. You're forced to go the long way, and that just allows more time for the Vermok player to set up over here in the top left. But as for the Vermok player as well, the American player usually doesn't have MGs, depending on what strategy he went. Because he did grab the barracks, he won't have any MGs. We'll only have rifles. Rifle spam is the standard play for the American player. And same thing can happen to our Vermok player. You can capture this point here, sit in this building here, use a green cover as well as the yellow cover in these areas, set up a mine, and you're trapped in your base. So you definitely don't want to lose these 2 points here. You can actually see the Vermok player hasn't decided to capture his just yet. He is going to just back capture the high points first, and then capture this one. No biggie there. I haven't really been reading the chat. Looks like I've been going at it for quite a while, talking about who they've beaten or something like that. So we do have our American player finally moving into the middle, and we'll eventually see this Volksgrenadier squad. What do we have popping up for our Vermok player? Don't have anything, no MGs just yet. He's actually floating quite a bit. I would think something would come out there soon. So here goes our first little engagement. Looks like the Pioneers should win. They're not actually in green cover, but they do still win, and the Engineers will have to book it out of there. So here we go, our first rifle and Volksgrenadier engagement. He's going to hop in the green cover right away. Engineers are going to hop in that church and lay some more fire on that Volksgrenadier squad. And this squad is actually in trouble, so he needs to get out of there. Rifles do win in a close-up fight, so that's why he did manage to back up, move into that green cover, and get a better position on those rifles. So we do have the Engineers here moving up, though, but he's going to try to isolate these Engineers and pick them off first before these rifles can really do anything. So we do have 2 Volksgrenadier squads firing onto the Engineer squad that is in the building. These rifles really need to move up eventually. I don't know if he's waiting on something or he doesn't think that it will be worth it, because they will take quite a bit of damage traveling over there. An Engineer squad will have to book it out of there. Very, very low on health, though. Needs to hop in that church or get out of there. The Vermok player could go for that kill, but no, not right now. He's going to go for the rifle squad for the time being. Do we have any? We do have reinforcements. Actually, we have a sniper coming out for our Vermok player, so he did build that manpower for a reason. He was not floating, my mistake. And the rifles here, just trying to keep the Vermok player here as long as possible, so he cannot cap or do anything else, just to delay and maybe switch out with these rifles. But it is a little too late. They will take way too much damage trying to get into that, especially with the flamethrower upgrade just finishing for our Vermok player, which absolutely absolutely destroys any units in buildings or really up close. So now it looks like these rifles decided to take a detour and go up north and start decapping over there. The Wehrmacht army is on the pursuit, but does allow the American player to move into the middle and start capping with this engineer squad, but there isn't too much for him to cap with yet because everything is in his main base. So we do have the sniper here. Gonna see, already has 2 kills. Gonna shoot away that rifle squad. Unfortunately, it was not able to do anything, but did manage to take these away from capping the middle point. So now we have a first MG out for our Wehrmacht player. Gonna move here on the bottom right and try and engage this engineer squad. I'm gonna switch to the American player really quick here. So it is about halfway done. He should be able to cap that before the MG team can do anything about it, and the engineer squad will have to get out of there. So it looks like so far we have up to 1, 2, 3 rifles now for our American player, and no tech upping yet. We'll see that later into the game, or any doctrine choices, of course. You don't see it that early into the game. So it looks like the sniper will take the church. I'm going to switch back to the Wehrmacht player. We'll take the church, which does allow him a lot greater vision, and it's going to be very, very annoying to take that sniper out just because there's so much cover that supporting units can use. Green cover here, green cover there, green cover everywhere, and then as he's walking up this path here, it is going to be negative cover for our American player. So it looks like not too much going on. We do have a mine setting up here on that +5 fuel, as well as the rifles and engineer squad, though they are going to see that, and they do take extra damage when laying the mine down, so he needs to get out of there right away. And hopefully doesn't go into that building, because this engineer squad does have a flamethrower upgrade as well, and really should just retreat because he's taken so much damage. And now he's actually in danger of losing this pioneer squad. If he does retreat, this rifle squad can cut it off and take it out. So I'm not sure what he's going to do with it. There is actually engagement in the middle. That's why they're just so busy. The sniper here popping in there with the MG, so that does provide a little extra protection while they're sharing that building. And it looks like he should be able to hold the rifles there. Very good spot. Oh no, we have an engineer though. Engineer's flanking with the flamethrower upgrade, trying to focus fire down the engineer, and they will get almost picked off. And I think he should be good. And yes, it does blow up, unfortunately. But the sniper goes down, as well as the MG in the church. So really a victory for the American player, because those are 2 huge units, losing 2 for 1, as well as the engineers are a lot cheaper. And it looks like, oh man, will he lose a Volkswagen squad as well? Down to 1 guy, and he will get away. And really the meat of this was the bars. The bars are just so powerful, and that good positioning right here on the corner. Instead of being out here in the open, that less fire can be put on your squads when you're in that corner. I think they can't even hit them. I'm not entirely sure. I think they might have picked off a little bit, because there was 1 guy from the squad over here and they got kind of hit. So ETWKR, I believe that's, yeah, Siberian Platoon. This is a joke, but freestyle is like, who won that fight? You know, we both kind of lost units. I think Siberian Platoon did come up on top, our American player, just because he managed to kill a sniper and an MG, and it looks like our American player lost. I don't think he lost any squads, but from what I saw, he only lost that engineer squad. So looks like he has 1, 2, 3 rifles still on his army still, and it looks like we have a second MG coming out for our Wehrmacht player. Going to set up over here. Not too much it can do at the time being, unless he doesn't manage to take this building here, and then any sort of retaliation that MG will be able to fire on to any units in this area, especially any engineers or units that get close to this building that try to throw grenades or whatnot. So far pretty even. The map is kind of favoring our Wehrmacht player in the red here. You can kind of see, but looks like our American player is going to move out once again. Does have a minesweeper upgrade. Fear of mines, as this map is very, very good for mines. It's very, very narrow in some places, very urban, especially in the middle here. So he is going to back off, not going to do too much. And looks like, who's that MG? Is the MG still over here? The MG is actually not set up. I think he was capping, so if he's in this building now, he is going to hop in this building, and now he's going to catch these units out of position, but he only can suppress 1, so if he suppresses this rifle squad, this engineer squad is going to come over here and flank it, so really this MG is kind of in trouble. Do we have any support in the vicinity? We only have a Volkswagen squad up here in the north. I don't think they will do enough damage, so he realizes that, just going to retreat the MG, and I really agree with that. Very nice play there. No point in suppressing 1 unit and then risking losing that MG squad. So over here on the right hand side, looks like the Pioneer squad needs to book it out of here, down to 2 guys, very, very low on health. The engineer squad, the flamethrower upgrade, can start burning it away, and they barely will get away. However, if the rifles show up, they will pick him off, and finally gets away, so he should be good. Oh no, the rifles actually will pick it off, especially with bars. There's no escape for this Pioneer squad, and he does lose it. Going back here in the south position, not too much happening. The American player continuing the cap. And here in the north position, he will cap this plus 16 munitions, as I don't really see anything in the vicinity from a Wehrmacht player. Going to switch players to freestyler. He does actually not too bad. We actually have storms coming out for our Wehrmacht player, as he does have that Panzer upgrade. Check the teching for our American player. I don't see anything yet, so really the Panzers, or that Shrek squad, isn't going to do too much at the time being. We'll see how it does go. So it looks like one squad going to be annoying, delay a good portion of the Wehrmacht player's army, requiring 3 squads onto that one building, as the engineer squad happily takes his VPs 431 to 456. So far, pretty even game. The rifles will now have to book it out of there. So our Wehrmacht player can start capping over here, and I don't see our American player actually have any units in this area, because all of his units are actually in the south position right now. So really, they're just dancing around the map. Not too much trickery going on here. The Pioneer squad needs to be careful, and it will definitely get away out of there, especially with that MG in the church. Cannot be chased down. So I think he was laying mines, actually. Yes, there is a mine right here, so that probably will pay for itself eventually. And you can see this barbed wire as well. Actually, I hear some fighting up here in the north position. Looks like, yeah, just a little being annoying again. Looks like our Wehrmacht players actually going to be annoying this time, take the building, but all those bars are pretty powerful, especially when they get that close. We do have storms out here, going to try to throw a grenade. Will they get a kill? They should. Ooh, get 3 kills actually, so that's a triple kill, and the rifles are instantly have to get out of here. Over here in the VPs, looks like an engineer squad whipping it out on this Volkswagen squad, because they have the flamethrower upgrade. And looks like he got a little too close, a little miss micro. You can win the fight, you just need to stay back here, like behind the fence or something, or continue to kite the engineer squad in general. Back here in the middle, looks like our MGs, ooh, that mine paying for itself. Well, it killed one guy and did force a retreat, as well as this MG, so double MGs here holding the middle point so far for our Wehrmacht player. And over here, engineers is once again whipping out on these stormtrooper squads. I think the engineer squad, I'm not sure who's going to win this fight actually. And looks pretty even. However, we do have Volkswagen squad over here coming to help, and look like the engineers should book it out of here soon, especially once he sees this Volkswagen squad and does manage to book it out of here. He's very, very low on health. Will he get it? He's not chasing it down. He must be busy somewhere else, and the engineer squad will get away. So the rifles over here are going to cap that fuel point, and looks like they kind of switched. Over here in the south position, we'll get very, very close to Freestyler's base. Managed to get the fuel point right next to that, and now the rifles kind of go away somewhat untouched. You can see this guy over here burning, so it will be knocked down to 4 guys, but overall a small victory for our American player. And still going to be annoying, hiding behind the tree and fire away, but the Pioneer squad should be able to cap that, and he should be fine. So it looks like we have a supply yard out for our American player that just can let him upgrade straight to should be a tank depot. Yes, a tank depot, and it's actually putting down a weapon support center at the same time. Once more skirmishing up here in the north, so that's really interesting. I've never seen these go down at the same time, so maybe do a huge tech switch, perhaps to deal with these MGs in the middle. Then switch to our Wehrmacht player really quick, and yeah, so we just have an MG here in the middle as well as an MG here up top right. And we do have a Puma out actually for our Wehrmacht player. And does our American player have any counters for that? Unless he didn't go stickies, he's kind of in trouble right now. So if I didn't see the sticky upgrade at any time, especially when he's investing in Tank Depot and the Weapon Support Center, yeah, he's definitely not going to have any gas for stickies. So he's kind of a sitting duck, and hopefully, let's see if our Wehrmacht player can capture on that. The MG though is definitely going to go down here, and will he try to pick it up after he kills it? Really, there's only the Puma that can pick. And yes, he does pick it up. Now all he needs to do is retreat, or is he going to try to set up and use armored piercing rounds on the Puma? No, he's not going to do that. That would have been interesting, but no, he's going to get out of there. And Freestyle probably has more than good enough micro just to go behind it, and he should be good to go. So looks like nothing coming out for these 2 buildings just yet. See how he's going to work that. I'm trying to think. What exactly is he going to do? Rifle squad almost going down there, but will the Puma chase it down? And I think it will, and it says, meh, kill it. So he did freestyle, so sure, I'll definitely kill it. And, just give me 1 second. I heard my roommate, actually it's like 2 in the morning, and everyone's sleeping, gotta go to work in the morning, so I don't want to wake anybody up, but should be good to go. Alright, so we have 2 Pumas for my Vermont player. Ooh, hitting a mine, destroyed engine, sitting duck in the water, but we don't have anything else that really can take it out. So really that is what our American player, all he can do right now is just lay mines for the moment, delay this Puma advantage that our Vermont player has, so he can get this M10 out from our tank depot, and that should counter Pumas pretty well. But he needs to be careful, as M10 does have very light armor, and we do have stormtroopers out that do have a Shrek on them. And I think that is the only squad that does have Shreks on them. Let's see here. We have actually another stormtrooper squad coming out, so we'll have 2 squads with Shreks on them, and then as well as 2 armored cars. So Pumas, they're called Pumas, yeah. I don't know what. Oh yeah. So we do have a little push here up here in the north position for our American player. There's going to be 2 rifles as well as that MG. So let's see if the MG is going to come back to haunt our Vermont player, and it looked like it should. The Puma here though is going to happily pick away at these rifles because they do not have any stickies yet. However, he can use armored piercing rounds if he wants to. It doesn't look like he's going to use it though, and the Puma's actually going to back off. I'm kind of surprised he didn't flank it or anything like that. Perhaps expecting something to come out eventually, as it has been a while, and yes it is, as there is the M10 coming over here in north position. But do we have our stormtroopers out in the area? And yes, we do have one coming over there, so let's see what is going to happen here. It's going to be a pretty tight micro battle here. Players instantly using the engineer squad, and now the M10 is out. The Puma has to get out of here, has to retreat to those stormtrooper squads, and the M10 now taking quite a bit of hits. And it's all not sure who's going to win here. It looks like both are going to back off, especially the MG here going to move up and cover that M10 from the stormtroopers that are going to take on that M10. So both players do wisely back off from each other. If any of them got way too aggressive, it would have been bad news for both of them. So it does sound like the noise is a little low. I think I'm going to turn it up just a tad. And going back into the game here, I'm at 16, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's just a bit of game of cat and mouse. Who can pick what off? Really, if these bars can take out these stormtroopers, he would be good to go. But really, looks like he has a better chance to take out the Puma. And now the bars can move in onto these stormtrooper squads. But really, there's only 2 bars. One is very close to dying, and he does have the MG squad here. But he needs to be very, very careful when leapfrogging it, because he does get if he does get caught with his pants on, he is going to be screwed here. And very nice play by our Vermont player, getting some munitions from that dead Puma over here. And looks like the south position, our player, hitting a mine, trying to a ninja cap over here in the south position, but looks like American players' mines did pay off. Still gonna go, ouch. How many mines do we have here? It looks like 2 mines, and now the engineer squad can be happy and pick it off. So he does decide to retreat it this time, because maybe there could have been a 3rd mine that he would have lost that squad. So there actually is a 3rd mine. There's one right here, and there's one right here. So yeah, he would have lost that squad if he went to the right. If he did good to go for the fuel point, though, he would have been fine. But how could he know? He does not. So look, the M10 is fully. There's actually a second M10, so this M10's almost repaired. And looks like 2 stormtrooper squad, very, very sneaky. You could just instant pick off an M10 if you wanted to. He's actually going to go for this MG. And once he gets rid of this MG, that will allow stormtroopers free reign on his M10s as well, because there are not many rifles out on the field right now. But unfortunately, it did only kill 1 guy right now. Running straight into the storm, so he's going to try to micro into the storms, so they keep moving and they can't get a set position and fire on them, and it looks like it did work. It did force one to retreat. So over here in south position, a little bit more fighting going on, not too much. Really, this is kind of the low end of the game on the south position, where they're just trying to ninja cap each other, a little skirmishing. And over here in the north position, it's where the real fighting is at with the M10s. Do we have anything else coming out? Not too much from American player just yet. We do have a Stug out though for our Vermont player. The turret cannot spin, so it's going to come down to this M10 if he can really micro it really well against that Stug, because the Stug is slow, doesn't have that turret that can turn. So here we go. M10 takes the first shot, doing quite a bit of damage there, as you can see on the health. And the M10 though, very light armor. One more shot will take it out. The engineers are desperately trying to get to the M10 and repair it, as well as the rifles. Not sure what the rifles can really do against the Stug. Not much. They're just going to try and cap that point. And here we go. We have the second M10 coming in here, and double engineer is going to repair that, and the M10 is going to go straight for that Stug and going to perhaps try to get behind him. We do have stormtroopers here in support of that M10. The MGs do manage to push away that stormtrooper squad. So once again, both wisely backing off. Ooh, rear hit onto the M10, but he should be fine. Should manage to get away. And it looks like both players are going to begin repairing their vehicles and tanks, and so he just managed to get that point. Puma unfortunately was not able to do anything. Really, the Puma may be able to run in here, maybe try to dance around this building, hide behind it a little bit, and the Stug can move in and pick off one of these. Maybe not. Actually, the M10 is decently on health, so I'm going to switch to our American player here just to see his movements. And it looks like we actually have the Sherman out for our... Where'd it go? There it is. The Sherman out for our American player, and that's going to be a little harder for our Vermont player, but once again, those Stormtrooper squads, as long as you keep those alive, he should be good. They are pretty even so far. Puma's counting rifles pretty well, and Bar is counting Stormtroopers very well. And it's going to come down straight down the micro, just like any other game. So far, here we go. We have a push, though. Our two M10s going to move here in the north position, trying to save that rifle squad that was trying to cap that plus 60 munitions, and it will, as the Puma have to backs off. But we do have stormtroopers moving in at the moment. We actually have quite a bit of artillery going over here. Didn't catch too much. Is trying to take down this MG out of here, and he does manage to take it out. So stormtroopers actually can move in here if they wanted to. Just uncloak, take out these M10s while they're stuck, and he may be able to do a lot of damage on one or take out one. And he does see it. The M10's still stuck at the moment. The Sherman's over here on the right position, just kind of out of position. Here we go. M10's actually going to walk in the stormtrooper squad, and here we go. Ooh, does have the Allied War Machine, so if he kills one, he instantly gets it reimbursed here, and he will kill this other one. See if he decides to back off and not kill it. He does retreat one squad. They do have double veteran, see, and he gets the main gun destroyed, so don't kill it, don't kill it, don't kill it. Just walk away, walk away, walk away. Unfortunately, he does not, so he will get this one as well, and the Sherman, so they can pretty much do whatever they want, and he'll get it reimbursed over here. You can see the two M10s now. And this Sherman is actually going to back off as Allied War Machine does wear off. Allied War Machine does cost 200 munitions, so it definitely is not free. And now the Stug is going to chase the Sherman, though, and it's rear facing. He could chase it down if he wants to, as there's nothing over here, but looks like he's going to play it safe and back off. We have a sniper coming out for our American player now, so that will definitely help against the stormtrooper squads that that just picked off, I believe, on M10. Did it pick off an M10? I just watched that fight and I don't remember. So no, yeah, they actually picked off two M10s. Yeah, that's why I was confused. He did pick off two M10s, but he did get reimbursed. So that kind of sucks for our Vermont player, but that does allow some positioning over here in the north position if he wants to start capping, but it doesn't look like he has the manpower to do it, as he only has two Pioneer squads over here, actually stormtroopers as well, so they are going to start capping a little bit. But how much can he get capped before his units get over here? He does have the MG and sniper moving in, as well as rifles. Doesn't look like he will be able to get too much, but they are cloaked, so our American player can run into a little bit of trouble. Because there's only one rifle squad, so if he runs on this MG, the MG will have to get out of there. Runs on that sniper, the sniper will have to get out of there, as both these units need to keep their distance away from any unit to do any sort of damage. So here they go. They are sneaking, get away because they're a little scared of that rifle squad, but it's going to be so close. You can just come over here on the right-hand side. He should be good to go, but we do have our Sherman now coming on the field, as well as the Flamethrower Engineer squad. So we need to watch out for this squad specifically, because if the Stormtrooper squad does open up very close to one of these squads and the Engineer squad is in the vicinity, he's going to be kind of in trouble. So it looks like we have some more fighting actually in the middle. It looks like just artillery going off. That's what it was, a Nebel. And here we go, Stormtrooper squad moving in, and they will be caught by the Engineer squad, but he needs to focus fire this. He's going to focus fire the Sherman, actually. And unfortunately, he runs into the wrong squad. Any other squad, and he probably would have got a lot of damage done, but he runs into the Engineer squad with the flamethrowers. So that sucks. Because even running into that tank, he would have done a lot of damage because of the Shreks, and he probably would have got quite a few rear armor hits. So really, nothing coming out of that for him, and he will have to retreat both those two Stormtrooper squads. So, ooh, two M10s right here on the edge of the water, taking out that Nebel, unfortunately. I'm not sure how much that Nebel has paid for itself. And it looks like we will be seeing a Calliope out. Has 650 manpower, and it should be coming out within a few seconds here. And that's going to be very powerful, very cool to watch. will not instant kill these thugs, but if any stormtroopers on the field, they will probably, if he can land pretty good hits, they will instantly force the retreat. So we do have the Calliope out onto the field. We'll see where he decides to use that later into the game. And it looks like we actually have a Stu, and this is a Stug over here on the left. Stu, excuse me, on the right hand side. The Stu is very, very good against infantry, not the best against vehicles, and the Stug is actually good against vehicles, but not the best at infantry. Pretty decent, but both have similar turrets. You can see the Stug's turret is actually slightly larger than the Stug's, so just keep an eye out for that. And looks like our American player has a decent sized force. Both players not losing too much. Gonna switch to our Wehrmacht player. Go attack map here, and yeah, pretty decent. We actually have a Goliath on the field. Did take quite a few hits, not sure from where, but that probably means our American player does know it is somewhere into the somewhere in the game, and he is actually going to repair. I've actually never seen that. All the years I've been playing Company of Heroes, I've never seen a Goliath get repaired. So let's see what this Goliath can do in this game. He's actually going to move in with his squad. Ooh, and a Calliope going off here, and he does force Stormtrooper squads to retreat, as well as a Volksgrenadier, and a little cute little Goliath going down there the road. Doesn't do too much to the tanks of the Wehrmacht player. So the Goliath moving. Where are you going to do? What can you do? It can camo itself, so it will camo. And there it goes. So probably when the American player does decide to cap this, as it's been a lot of fighting over here, so if we just decide to cap this, ooh, we actually have a sniper over here, so it is possible for him to run into it. The sniper will, though, give away its position, firing on this Volksgrenadier squad, so he does know it is over here, and the sniper will back off, so we will not see that Goliath blow up that sniper, but it could happen later on. We have a bunker, actually very nice positioning there, as it is protected by that building, and it will be a repair station for his vehicles, so he will continue to get quite a bit of vehicles out onto the field. As you can see, he's getting a veterancy for them. I believe that is the first set of veterancy, so yes, that is going to be the first set of veterancy for him. And we actually have our M10s over here on the right hand side, and I'm not entirely sure why yet. Perhaps expecting some ninja capping or something, I'm not sure, but he is moving his M10s now. Maybe for a flank, actually. I think he might go for a sandwich here. Does have a Sherman and the rest of his army up here in the north position. There's the Calliope supporting it in the back, and the M10s here in the south position. So we may see pretty interesting push from our American player soon. But the tanks actually of the Wehrmacht player way up here in the north.